Welcome to Job Service North Dakota's short presentation for claimants returning to their employer after a period of temporary layoff. This video will help you avoid common mistakes made during the claim filing and weekly certification process. The primary responsibility you have as a job-attached claimant is to be available to return to work when your employer contacts you. You must be available to work when the employer has work for you to do. Even if the work is short-term and you're not returning to your permanent full-time position. First, we will go over common mistakes made during the claim filing process. Mistake number 1. Claimants do not update their last day of work. If you have previously filed a claim in North Dakota, it is very important to update all of your information. If you are laid off around the same time each year, pay close attention to the day and year when updating your last day worked. Mistake number 2. Claimants incorrectly answer the question, "Are you returning to the employer who laid you off?" If you expect to return after a period of temporary layoff, you need to answer yes to this question. If either of these questions in mistake number 1 and 2 are answered incorrectly, the following will occur. You will be required to search for work, register for work, and complete reemployment activities. Your payments may also be delayed due to the time involved in correcting your job-attached status and resolving associated issues. Job service may also require you to provide a letter from your employer confirming your job-attached status and an estimated date you will return to full-time employment. Please note, job service is required to notify your employer when you file a claim. Job service provides the reason you stated you are no longer working for your employer and asks them to confirm whether you are returning to work for them. Now let's look at the weekly certification and go over the common mistakes made during this process. Mistakes made during the weekly certification process may result in delayed or overpaid benefits. It's important to remember the questions in the weekly certification are specific to the week you're certifying for benefits. The first common mistake claimants often make is saying they are not available for work. You will be asked, if they had work for you to do, would you have been available to work for the employer who laid you off? Claimants answer, no, they were not available to work for the employer because the employer did not have any work for them to do. Claimants mistakenly think they are being asked if they are available to work for any other employer. This question is really referring to the employer who laid them off. Answering this question incorrectly will create an availability issue, and payments will be delayed until the issue is resolved. Another common mistake claimants make during the weekly certification process is to misreport or fail to report earnings from an employer. This means earnings from the employer who laid them off, as well as earnings from any other employment. Don't forget to include self-employment, part-time, temporary, and even day labor work. It is important to remember, earnings are reported in the certification week you did the work and not when you receive your paycheck. You must report the gross amount, which means the amount before taxes and other deductions or withholdings. Misreporting or not reporting earnings may lead to overpaid benefits which you will have to repay. Job service compares wages reported by employers against the earnings you report. This is called a cross-match comparison. You may receive a letter asking you for additional information if these two amounts do not match. Lastly, claimants do not tell job service they are no longer working for an employer. This includes any short-term and temporary employment. You need to report the reason you're no longer working, even if you work just a few days or as little as an hour. Failure to report you are no longer working for an employer may result in a large overpayment of benefits, which you will be required to repay. Job service checks employment status as part of the cross-match comparison process. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We hope it will help you avoid making common mistakes made during the claim filing and weekly certification process. For more information on various topics, please check Job Service North Dakota's YouTube channel or visit jobsnd.com.